and today's ASMR video is going to be turning these eggshells into a more refined powder. And how are we going to do that, you ask? We're going to grind it by hand. We're going to use my mortar and pestle in order to do so. So without further ado, I'm just going to put these sterilized eggshells into the grinder. A whole bunch in there. Now, why am I doing this, you ask? Well, if you clean and dry eggshells, there are actually plenty of ways they can be used. You can use them in certain remedies for your skin, although I don't do that. I have like the ick with that for some reason. Maybe I'll try it out eventually. You can put it in tomato plants at the base of the soil in order to make them grow stronger. Tomato plants love eggshells, and the soil does. You can also put them on the base of your plants in your garden if you deal with slugs, and that will repel the slugs. Basically, if you're interested in living more zero waste lifestyles, starting out with saving your eggshells is an excellent way to do it. And a while back ago, I made hard-boiled eggs, so I saved the eggshells, but I never got around to the grinding them into a powder part, and I thought it would be a fun ASMR video. And so, that is why we are here today. If you are interested in witchcraft, paganism, or any sort of spiritual practice as well, along those lines, Wicca, whatever, eggshells are commonly used in protection spells. White is generally a protective color, also an all-purpose color, but I believe, the way that I take it, I don't know if there's a more specific reason, but it's because it's a shell from an egg. It simultaneously represents the cycle of life and also just like in armor around said life. That could be the universal meaning, that could be me talking out of my ass, but it's very good. Eggs are pretty useful. I dropped some of them one moment. Pick the shells up. It was only like a couple pieces, but I want to save them. I'm gonna dump more in. Starting to make progress, so there we go. Here's the rest of the jar. Do you like my label? I used a Stardew Valley Post-it note. Okay, back to the grind. I don't know, it just feels good to do things by hand. I don't know how finely I'm going to grind it into a powder. I'm going to grind it as small as I can. I usually work with herbs that are much easier to grind smaller faster. So this is an interesting experience. It's definitely a new, crunchy kind of texture. Again. The only reason that I'm picking them up off the floor is because I personally will not be using them for anything on or in me. Not skincare or eating. Oh, but to address what you can do if they have been properly cleaned and dried and you're confident that they would be safe to consume, if you grind them into a powder, you can not only put them in like protein shakes or whatever to add calcium in your diet. If you're a farmer, and honestly, if you work with animals, you probably already know this and know more about it than me, but you can give it back to your chickens, put it in their food, sprinkle it as a powder in their diet, which to me is a little bit morbid, but not really at the same time, because it's like how some people who give birth will eat the placenta. I'm just gonna put this on my lap real quick. I know it's out of sight. Hopefully it's picking up the sound. It's a lot of like arm exercise. I'll give you guys a visual update. I'll try to go a little bit smaller than that. Don't have my tripod set up like usual. Thought it'd be easier if I just sat on the ground and used my dresser. It's not a dresser, it's more like a chest, but put it on the chest and filmed that way. We're getting there. I'm definitely seeing bits of dust fly away. That's pretty cool. This is my first time grinding eggs, like I said. So you're catching all this on camera. Live reaction to grinding eggs, eggshells. You can also use the yolks for plenty of things, obviously, eating wise, skincare and hair care wise, as well as I've heard you can use the membrane, like the sticky first layer underneath the eggshell. It's like between the actual egg and the shell. You can use that to wrap around wounds, and it acts as like a natural band-aid. I believe it's antimicrobial. I would look more into it, but basically there are plenty of reasons to keep your eggs, every part, use every part of it. Hopefully I'll be able to address other things similar to this in my videos eventually and turn it into a fun ASMR experience, but we'll see. Also, I should say, I've watched videos of other people use mortar and pestles before. I'm going off both vibes and trying to recreate what I've seen. I don't know if there's a specific form you should have. Feel free to criticize my form if you do know. If there's maybe a more efficient way for me to get what I'm doing done, but I think I'm doing okay. My lap again. It's very interesting. Trying not to get distracted. Let me just do some little while I do that so I can focus on that for a second. All right, so it's not exactly a fine powder, which is okay. I was just trying to personally grind them smaller because, again, I am going to be using them for plants and possibly protective properties, but check it out. I'll even give you like a little, let's see if I can set this up better. Give you a little pour can as I put them back in the jar. That's so cool. At the bottom I have more of a fine powder. I might, off camera, go through a second round of grinding, but I'm glad that I got to show you guys the process. And now we have grinded eggshells. If you guys would like to see more content like this, just me doing little tasks or grinding things up, please let me know in the comments. Like the video if you did, and subscribe to see more. Bye!